Hello and welcome to the CRM Zen Show, where we talk about all things Zoho. This is episode 241, Dr. Zoho and the Multiverse of Madness, recorded on Friday 10th, 2023 from Zenatta Consulting. I'm Brett Martin.
And I'm Tyler Colt, and let's get right on into the show.
Fantastic. Well, Tyler, how's your week?
It is good. Feeling a little better. Monday I was super sick, Tuesday even worse, and then rest of the week's been uphill, and it looks like it's going to be like mid-50s today. So I'm going to jump on my bike after we're done for the day and find somewhere to go. How about you?
Nice. I'm good. It seems like did you have the vid?
I don't think so. I don't think I had the vid this time around. It didn't feel quite the same. Just felt more like your garden variety flu, head cold type of thing. Did kind of put me out though. One of those days I was just crying all day. Yeah, my eyes just wouldn't stop watering for an entire day. So,
yeah, that's right. You were crying on calls. I remember that. It was very touching. It really was.
Yeah, hard to explain to a prospect why I'm crying 1 minute into a sales call, but most people are pretty understanding.
No, all good here. It's raining in California yet again. Going to be raining all the next 3 days, all weekend. It's just perfect. So I think this is it, though. This is the last storm of the year. Hopefully, we've got enough snow to all droughts are over, so we don't need any more rain.
For at least a month.
Let's move on from here. Anyway, all right, let's move right on into the show with announcements and events. And if you now go to zenatta.com/events, it's going to redirect you over here to Club Zenatta, where we're now keeping track of all the news and events. So here on the side, you've got a little widget, which is going to go ahead and give you the events. There's some focus webinar groups, all kinds of stuff coming up. We're also breaking them down here. So if you scroll down on the little sidebar here, you can look at any announcements that are out here, what Zenatta is doing, specifically look at our events that are coming up. We've got our Zoho Desk 2023 full product tutorial coming up. Any Zoho events, they are all here too. So we're keeping them going. Nice. I love how you can just easily sort through all of these now. It just makes it really, really easy. And announcements will be here, but we don't have any announcements, but we will. We will have announcements soon enough. And if you haven't spent any time over on Club Zenatta, it's blowing up with this, with our whole new platform that we're running the community on. It's called Circle. It's people seem to be loving it. We've got a really cool post in here from Landon about this is kind of cool. Basically, it's a Chrome extension that when you do a search in Google, it gives you ChatGPT off to the side and cool. Side by side with your Google search results. I'm sure Google is loving this one. Anyway.
And Microsoft probably hates it, right?
Shout out to use Bing. What's that?
I said Microsoft probably hates it, right? No need to use Bing if you can just embed ChatGPT right into Google. Not sure the lifeline or lifetime of this plugin before Microsoft hits the cease and desist button on it, but enjoy it for now. Competitive markets at play, though. My money's on that thing disappears in about a month.
I don't know though, man. It's open source. Who knows?
We'll see.
And I want to tell you, in the history of our community, even the old one, Joseph Drag here has done a write-up on Zoho Voice versus Smooth Messenger, and this is a read. It is a beautiful article where he kind of compares all of them. So I would highly recommend heading over, because we're actually going to talk about these two today, and go ahead and take a look at that as well. But if you haven't, head over to club.zenatta.com and check out all that's going on in the world of Zoho. And with that, Tyler, let's move on into our news and events. And we are going to start off with the Zoho creator updates that are coming this month. Some nice stuff, form drafts, vertical subforms, creator extensions, Zia Help Assistant, screen record by Quartz in Zia Help Assistant, and activity-based user filters. So of these things that are coming this month, any of these excite you at all?
I could see form drafts being pretty useful, right? If you're kind of out in the field, maybe it takes 2 site visits to get everything you need, right? But you don't want to finalize the submission of the form quite yet, right? Because maybe the submission triggers an approval and it triggers this and it triggers that. So being able to save as a draft is kind of nice. Vertical subforms, there's like a few use cases for those as well that might be pretty interesting. I mean, anytime we get a new tool that lets us define kind of a different UI or workflow for an application, we're always going to be a fan of that. So yeah, I can think a lot of these are pretty nice. Nothing kind of earth shaking right out of these updates, but just onward and upwards with Creator.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think this vertical subform thing could be very big. I mean,
Yeah,
we have
especially
that
for
right
those
now,
with
right?
scroll
We've got
wheels on their mice that don't like to go sideways. Being
Yeah,
able to
I mean,
scroll up and down.
we've got basically a subform right now that just scrolls on forever in our massive creator application. I think it's going to be pretty
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. Anyway, cool stuff here, guys. Boy, I haven't seen. Look at this wheel. If you're watching this on YouTube, the life cycle of an
uh,
extension. Man, this was
wow.
like PowerPoint from 20 years ago. Man, the
And
whole
come on, it was built in Zoho Show. It was Zoho
it
Show,
was
I would
built
bet.
into. I know. I haven't seen the circle of death in a very very long time. Very very nice. Anyway, good job for the creator team. Keep it going along. And with that, let's move on into some more news. Also having to do with subforms. Now in CRM, though, you can now upload. You can have file uploads in subforms. Um,
Yeah.
Kind of cool, dude.
Really nice. One of those things, like most of the time, you don't need a file in your subform, but sometimes you really, really, really do.
Yep.
Like, so in this case, right, they're kind of showing maybe we're looking at doing a renovation on a couple different apartments that are in a property, right? We've got this subform of the apartments, and now we could upload, let's say, a floor plan along with each of them into that subform. They are limiting it to one. So you've got one file upload per row, which is fine. I think that's totally reasonable. Um, so yeah, nice to have. Again, most subforms aren't going to need a file upload, but if you do, it is now there. I think really being able to do more and more things that you can do in a normal record in a subform is always good. So shout out to Zoho. I think I don't know. I won't talk about the ones I'm not allowed to, but they've got just a whole slew this year of these types of things going for CRM. These kind of patching holes, bringing functionality up to par, kind of covering some of these long-standing requests. So this is one of many updates, kind of in this vein, that we'll see for the CRM this year.
Yeah. I mean, this is nice. If you don't know subforms, you can embed them into basically any module inside your CRM. And, they're basically multiple rows. So it's kind of where you want to keep a bunch of data on a specific thing. It kind of makes it clean. So, you can accomplish this easily as well with kind of another module that's a related list inside a form. But, subforms is a quick down and dirty way to do it. When it first came out, it was just a big thing, but it wasn't a lot of support for it. But I think now you pretty much can do anything with subforms. You can, I mean,
Most
right?
things, yeah, most things with them.
You can report on them. You can export them. I mean, there was so much you couldn't do before, but
Yeah,
now they're very useful. I don't know. They still have the 100 row limit.
I think so. Yeah, I think they still do
Okay.
have some limits here and there. But again, if you've got more than 100 of these, it's rare.
Yeah.
Those limits are there, but it's just so rare that someone's going to actually hit that.
Yeah. So anyway, really cool. I see a lot of use cases for that one. Kudos to the team. And moving on with the CRM, we don't talk about this much, but in the CRM, you actually do have a portal, and you can, for free, allow people that are contacts in your CRM, you can give them access to basically things that are associated with them. So their account, their contact record, I think deals, some other stuff around like that as well. Um, and it's kind of been limited. And, normally we want to say, hey, if you really need a full fledged portal, and we still say that, head over to Z Portals because they have got probably the best portal for Zoho out there. But that being said, if you just need a simple portal talking strictly to your CRM, you can do that natively out of the box in Zoho CRM. And now they basically are extending wizards into the portal. So when someone is going ahead and entering data into the portal, you can have the same kind of wizard you would have in the CRM for your users for them. So
Yep.
pretty cool, I think.
Kind of nice if you're doing things where they might need to fill out a form that's pretty long. Like if they're logging into your portal just to submit a quick little case about an issue at their rental property, maybe you don't need a wizard. But let's say that you're putting in a request for a certain thing to be manufactured. right? And there's 50 fields that you need to capture. Being able to break those into pages, which is essentially what a wizard does, right? It takes your form and it breaks it into chunks, right? So we do them one at a time. Please put in your contact info next. Please put in your address. So it does kind of help with the UI, especially for longer things. Like you're mentioning, we almost default to recommending Z portals because it's just $50 a month and it does so much as a portal. But really nice to see them continue to build out the native functionality, with some of these types of tools.
Absolutely. Alrighty, and moving on here into the early access. There's, I don't know, we're up to, I don't know, 15,
7, 8
16,
of these now.
17 early access things going on right now. So they have now are introducing configure, price, and quote. So you've got early access on that. You can sign up for CPQ, guided selling. They've actually done a nice job on this, I think, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean it's not the same as the depth of something like QuoteWorks for custom pricing, but you can do a lot with it. So you can set up different price books that will refer to like the type of customer. So maybe you have a gold, silver, bronze, right? They can automatically get different prices. You can also set up like required or suggested co-sales. So maybe you sell a certain product and you could also sell 5 hours of support for that, right? You can actually create these relationships where a salesperson will be recommended to include certain things. Again, like, is this gonna, if you're doing pricing for your roofing company and you need to price on the angle of the roof and the amount of rain, then okay, maybe this isn't going to be for you. But I think this will cover a lot of people's needs in terms of doing some pricing and getting quotes out the door.
Yeah. Very, very, very nice.
Strong V1.
Alrighty, in moving right features, they're introducing something called PathFinder.
Mhm.
Infused with Command Center, which has now been renamed Journey Builder. It's funny because Command Center is how old? 6 months? I don't know.
Yep.
Year.
Or
Yeah,
it's super old. It's
so
been around
Command
forever.
Center is Journey Builder, and now you've got Pathfinder. Is Command Center gone? It's called Journey Builder now. I guess
Yeah,
so.
and it never needed to exist in the first place, but now it's called Journey Builder. The thing with Pathfinder is Zoho kind of taking a stab at some of the stuff that HubSpot does really well, which is essentially tracking all the different things that might happen before a sale occurs. The challenge is that most of those things, or a lot of those things, happen on your website. And so Pathfinder here will give examples of like, we want to track that someone has searched a product, added it to cart, landed on a page. The issue is that Pathfinder does not provide you any tracking code to put on your website. So you need to set up custom conversion points to post webhooks at each of those steps. But you don't really always have those, right? Because if someone's just added something to their
Right.
cart, who knows if they're logged in? Do you have the email? So it's hopefully they'll kind of continue to build this one over time. It does do some cool stuff. You can track things that happen in Zoho really well. So you can know someone opened a ticket, they opened an email campaign, these different things. But really, any of this stuff here that you'll see around web tracking, I would say there's not really a path, right? Pun intended, to implement that on your website in any reasonable way. Just
So,
because these things just
Sales
don't.
IQ tracks every. Sales IQ can track this, and
Yeah,
there's some
but they
other.
didn't tie this to Sales IQ. Yeah,
Right.
it got a whole diatribe going on it. But yeah, so keep an eye on it. Future updates where they might be able to tie it to the website, maybe leveraging Sales IQ would make this really interesting. But as it stands right now, if you're deep into marketing tech, this probably isn't going to solve the problem that you're looking to solve in its current
Yeah.
state. Again, early access. They're going to keep working on this.
When before we move on to the next story, um, this morning I was a bunch of people were pinging me, and it turns out I think next week I'm hoping we're going to be talking about. It's been released, but Zoho Notebook for CRM, and it looks really, really, really cool. I mean, but I went to install it and said rejected. You can't install it. So I am hoping that we get that fixed and we can do it. But
They might
it looks
finally
like the
have
team
shut
did it.
Brett up
And
on this.
what pretty crazy. It's basically a new related list on the side, and you can actually take all your old notes and put them over there. You can have a note. You can have note page board. There's just a lot. It looks like they did a really, really, really excellent job. So kudos to the team. It's a marketplace app, is how they're actually doing it. So it's a marketplace app where you can put it in, but the marketplace app is not published yet. There's a private
Got it.
link to it. I'm hoping they announce it soon, and we can do it. But anyway, looking forward to playing around with that, and hopefully that announcement comes. It's funny, evidently a lot of people have followed my journey every time we do a
I know, I
notebook
saw
update.
someone, in the Partner Connect tagged you, just like, "Brett needs to see this." You've,
Oh,
created quite a brand around your desire for notebook CRM.
pretty funny. So another early access thing, hopefully coming out soon. That'll make me really, really
And
happy.
shout out to Wayne, thank you. Wayne gave you a congrats in the chat here, Wayne Goodwin. Thanks, Wayne. Yeah, Brett, hopefully we'll find a new thing to, grab onto here.
No, what am I going to have to complain about now, though?
I know, they're finally shutting you up.
All right. Also in Zoho CRM, we've got some new UI enhancements for list views. Kind of small. They just kind of clean some things up the way.
Just things that
List
should be
views.
there.
Yeah.
These just should be there, right? I mean, you're going through your list. Now, without opening a lead, you could send them an email. You could set up a follow-up task,
Yeah.
right? Things like that. It's
It's
just
kind of
stuff that
nice.
you want to be able to do, right? Like you can always go into the lead and do it that way, but for a lot of these things, they're just gonna save you a little bit of time to do it this way. So definitely nice to have.
Yeah. A lot. I wonder if you can do multi-select on some of this. Be interesting.
Yeah, that would
Like
be
you select three
that'd be the really
people
great.
and you want to, create a meeting or something interesting. But if you're watching us on YouTube, it's basically they've just got some clean enhancements, some just small little enhancements like how things
Yeah.
are viewed. But um, anyway, nice job all the way around, team. So if you can, as always, if you subscribe to our newsletter or if you head over to Zenatta.com, click on the CRM Zen Show, the links to every single thing that we cover here, you'll find them in our newsletter. You'll find them in the show notes under the CRM Zen Show. If you head over to Club Z and you click on news, we actually are, every time we find these, we're putting stubs to all these articles up in real time over there as well. So if you want to check this out, if you're just listening to the show, take a look at it. Some nice enhancements. Hey, Zoho Payroll has got some interesting updates coming up. I wanted to bring this up because I am actually starting to hear some pretty good things about Zoho Payroll. Talked to a few people that are actually using it. They're saying it works great. So if you're one of the states that's supporting Zoho Payroll, it might be worth giving it a look. I mean, I think it's still best suited for everybody in your company is in the
Yeah.
same state, in the same office. You don't have people spread out all over the place.
Yeah.
And if you're using Zoho People and you've got it, this can make sense. So they are, as Zoho always does, they release these things and then over time they get better and better and better. And you can start to see here, I mean, the changes that they're announcing in payroll now, these are basic things that every payroll needs to have, right? Departments and designations and excuse me,
Yeah.
termination terms. I mean, things you kind of
The
have to
interesting Yeah.
have
Getting
that are
better
in
and
here.
better. I mean, the interesting thing though, and because we'll talk to prospects sometimes about people and about payroll and kind of moving the HR stack on there. And, the challenge is at that point, then you're doing all your healthcare management outside your HR tool and you're doing your 401k management outside your HR tool. So it'd be interesting
Right.
to see, this is longer term, right? But will Zoho ever bring a product to market that can compete with some of those more full featured options, right? That really do your whole HR stack at once. Because for us, I mean, that's oftentimes I end up recommending people check those out. Go look at Zenefits, go look at TriNet, go look at ADP. That's what we use, right? Because we want to have a good plan for all these different options. And I don't know how Zoho will plan to cover that because I think that's something that a lot of people kind of need out of their HR tool, right? Especially as they scale.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they'll get there. It's just going to be, it's going to take them a decade. I mean, I'm not joking. It's going to take that long for them to build up all the expertise because Zoho doesn't really buy a lot of companies.
Yeah.
So rather than maybe buying someone who's got coverage in all 50 states, but they're also thinking globally, and a lot of this is
Yeah.
so there's a lot going on here. But anyway, nice job. They're making progress here, and so worth you are considering Zoho Payroll or using it. You want to check this out. They made some very nice improvements to Zoho Payroll. And wrapping up the news, Uh, Zoho Voice desktop app for Mac and PC has been dropped. So, and they also have it for Linux. Very nice. I'm hearing, we are doing a internal review of Zoho Voice now. The team's
Mhm.
taking a look at it, provisioning a few numbers, um, and we're liking it. I mean, we're liking
Good
it.
application. They just need to sort out pricing. It's just tough
Yeah,
for us when we talk to customers about it because you can get all the same features cheaper at Ring Central and then just plug that into PhoneBridge. I'd love if they could just sort that out though, because it's not like working with Ring Central is a pleasurable experience. Their support is non-existent. I mean, it's not like we love Ring Central. It's just that it works well, it plugs in, it's the right price. And so if they
exactly
could
right.
just figure that out with Zoho Voice, and make it a little more competitive on the price point, I think huge amounts of Zoho users would love to move over to it because most of these telephony companies aren't that good. It's not like they're doing anything special.
Yeah,
So yeah, Zoho, if you're listening, please make this a little easier for us to recommend. I would
I'd
greatly
love to
appreciate
sell
it.
it. I'd
Yeah.
love to sell it. All righty, and with that, Tyler, let's get on into our implementation of the week.
Alrighty, so this here is an implementation built out by Cody and Lucas on our team around sending embedded Loom videos via CRM emails using a formula field. So, in essence, Loom is a short form video platform where you can easily kind of do a screen grab and audio recording. It's mostly designed to kind of send out to a customer or prospect, right? So, it's Zenatta, whenever we complete a development task, our clients receive a video walkthrough recorded in Loom that's emailed out to them. In this implementation, our goal was to kind of drive this same process, but make sure that the Loom video shows in the email as kind of like embedded with a thumbnail, where they can just click on it and start watching the video just natively right there inside of the email itself. Um, and so to do that, you have to kind of wrap the link with a certain bit of kind of embed code that makes it show a certain way when it's included in an email. So what the team did essentially set up a place to drop the URL. So let's say I'm our client, I'm completing a certain thing for their client. They record the video, they drop it into a field. A formula field then formats that link into the embeddable version that can then show in an email template. And then we just use that formula field to merge into an email. And now it can be sent out nicely embedded, the way that you'd like it to be, where they don't need to click through to watch it. They can just watch it directly from their email. So this is one of those ones that, like, from a technical level, like, didn't really require much custom code, didn't really require anything too crazy, right, to get this stood up. But it is really useful, right? If you kind of have these deliverables and you're tracking them in CRM, and when a deliverable is complete, you want to send an email, right, that has kind of a video walkthrough of what we did. This is just a really slick and pretty straightforward way to set that up using Loom.
Yeah. Was this wasn't for us, I don't imagine, right?
Wasn't for us. Yeah, it was actually for a client. We do a similar thing when we send
We're not
out our
embedding them, we're just
video.
putting the link.
Yeah, the
Maybe
link,
we
we
should.
send the link out right now. So we might actually want to swap ours eventually to just wrap it in this formatting now that we've kind of figured it out.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool. It comes out of our creator app now, but still there, definitely ways to do that because the link is embedded in the creator app. So there you
Exactly.
go.
Yeah.
Hey team, let's make that happen. That'll be pretty slick. Good job, Cody and Lucas. All right. With that, let's head over to Club Z and check out our code share of the week. Chat GPT 24/7. It's all anybody can talk about. AI is taking over the world. Um, so we have talked about this in the past. We built Chat GPT into Zoho as a bot. It worked into Cliq as a bot. It works great. We all love it. Greg basically here is telling you how some error message handling and those kind of things as well. Um, so if you head over to the code share under Club Zenatta, there's the code here. There is a companion video that goes with this, and we'll be talking about that here a little bit later. That's going to be our tip of the week, and we talk about that as well. But you know, I don't know. We did this. Have you used it since we've set it up?
I've been using it. Yeah, I have been using it. This code is kind of a nice fix because it looks for errors. The one Zoho put if there's an error in your code, it'll say, I don't have any knowledge, but that's not actually ChatGPT not knowing the answer. So it lets you know if there was an error in the code a little bit better. The only thing that I would say with this ChatGPT integration is I'm wondering if two people ask it something at the same time, if it gets answers mixed up. Because I was using it the other day, about a week, and it gave me one answer that it had nothing to do with what I had asked. Where I'm wondering if because all of these are under a shared authentication, it's treating them all as requests from the same person, and
Hmm.
somehow something got swapped. It's the only little thing. So, Greg, maybe we find out one more little code tweak that we might want to do with that, just to make sure that the lines don't get crossed there. But I have been using it; it works great. Other than
So the
one time where it
original
just gave me this
the
bizarre
original
answer.
integration of ChatGPT into Cliq, was that based on something Zoho had done? This Zoho art? Oh,
Yeah,
it was.
this is like a tweak to what Zoho wrote. Greg kind of improved the code to do better error handling.
Nice. Very, very nice. All righty. And with that, let's head on over to our read of the week. We haven't had a HubSpot article in quite a while, so shout out to Jay Fuchs here. He wrote an article on what is a customer profitability analysis and how to make your business more efficient. This just screamed Tyler Colt all over it. Tyler is constantly running analytics reports on our clients and our customers and efficiency and all. And it's something, we look at all the time because you kind of
Mhm,
have to, if you have you think that all customers are created equal, but they are not. And
mhm,
some customers actually, the profitability can be substantially less than other customers. And if you're looking and you're in a situation where, wow, you've only got limited resources and you've got to allocate those resources, and maybe you can't take on any new business, it might be a really good idea to do a
mhm,
customer profitability analysis and say, well, you know what, if we got rid of these 5 customers, we could add in 5 more customers that are more profitable, like these other 5. Anyway, it's something to look at here. But this article tends to, I think it covers all the bases. Anything you would add,
No,
CPE?
I mean, really, a lot of this stuff, getting good numbers here does kind of lean into your tech stack, right? So, like, and it depends how granular you want to go, right? It really does. Like, the better your tech, the more granular you can go, right? Because if somebody interacted with a social media post, right, well, that social media post cost you something to make in work hours and licensing content and, X, Y, and Z. And you can distribute that cost over all impressions, right? And then if you sum up all the cost per impressions for a customer against how much you made, you can get that really accurate number. It is really important though, and I think a big part of this, especially for service businesses, some of this is kind of defined under like the perspective of a SaaS company who just sells like one platform and you sign up for it monthly. But for service businesses, I think the biggest part of this is ideal customer, right? And that's something we're working on all the time is, saying no to more prospects who might just need something that we're not the best at or need an approach that we might not take, right? Because when you
Right.
start taking those, revenue is good because you're taking clients, but this profitability, right? You end up doing things that you're not the best at, that are outside of your normal workflows, that you can't really build a client for, right? Because you shouldn't have to, but you're kind of putting it together on the fly. So a lot of these, it just gets really important to identify like who is that right person who we can work with, that they're going to be happy and we're going to be happy, and that it's going to be a nice kind of win-win engagement.
Yeah, I mean, it's key. I mean, oftentimes, like you say, we're looking at a client and we can do it. We could do it, but at the risk of, alienating a bunch of other clients, not being able to deliver properly, you kind of go all, and you look and you feel bad, but it's just one of those things
Mhm.
where from a resource basis, you just don't have the
Yeah.
resources to make it all happen. And it's not going to be best for your overall business. So nice article. I love this kind of stuff. So kudos over to HubSpot and their blog. I still think they've got one of the best business blogs going over there from all
Yeah.
aspects, marketing, sales, everything.
Anything like
So
revenue related. Yeah, their blog is awesome.
yeah, they really, really, really do a nice job. And with that, let's head over to Zenatta and see what we got going on over there. All right, over at Zenatta.com, a little shout out to Keller Williams Heritage. They gave us a very, very nice case study. And so we've got a new case study going on here. This one, man, I'll tell you what, Rami signed up, and it's just been gangbusters. He
Yeah, him and
completely
Ben.
transformed. He went all in, and we've just been having a
Yeah,
lot of fun building this out for him. And you love it when clients are just super happy, and you just make everything
yeah.
work.
Big shout out to Ben too. I think Ben and Rami are pretty dangerous when they get together on some of these calls, and they've done a great job kind of building out together what this flow should look like, getting it implemented, getting it out the door. So yeah, thanks again, Rami, for the case study. Big shout out to Ben on our side, the consultant kind of driving this thing. It's been an awesome project.
Yes, and if you head over to Zenatta.com and hover over to the About, you can look at all of our case studies. We try to drop at least one a month. They're coming in fast and furious. I know that we weren't really asking. All of a sudden, I've just been seeing them fly all in. So we should have a lot more of these coming up here soon. And also, we have got our blog of the week, and that is on SMS for Zoho CRM by MessageMedia. I actually did a kind of a little webinar tutorial overview with MessageMedia here earlier this week. Had the president of MessageMedia on for the U.S. and just a great guy. And we basically kind of covered everything. We also had an engineer on board because Tyler, you always want to have an engineer on board whenever you're doing these things. Um, but we did a demo, went through it. We discussed pricing, had a lengthy Q&A session on what it can do. So you can find that over at the YouTube channel, or if you just go here to this video or to our blog, we've got it embedded here as well. If you aren't familiar, we pretty much think that it's the best SMS tool for Zoho currently out there.
Yeah.
Um, Gives you real time, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, you'll see, we've got a phone up and, it basically this tool does the best at mimicking a SMS situation that you would have on your phone or in a nice application. And everything is there. You can see who sent the message, all of the text messages you've had with a client. It supports webhooks, so you can do automation. You can send text reminders. It does all sorts of super nice things built into workflows. It's just great. It's just great. It works well. And we cover a lot here. So you want to have voice and messaging. You want to have the same number. We talk about that. So worth checking it out. And if you don't, and also in this article, there is a link which is 50% off your first 3 months. So if you decide you wish to give this a try and you're going to go all in, definitely click that link. It's going to save you a little bit of money there as well. So you can head over to MessageMedia if you want to find out, or messagemedia.com/US. It'll give you all the information on MessageMedia, their pricing, how it works. And again, if you head over to messagemedia.com/US/Zenatta, go ahead and fill out this form to get started, and you will get 50% off your first 3 months. Great guys. Thanks so much for coming on. It was really appreciated it. And this was a product that used to be called Smooth Messenger. Jeremy Nagel, who's big in the whole Zoho community and a great guy, he sold his company to MessageMedia last year. So it's no MessageMedia. They're an Australian company expanding here, expanding globally, big US presence now. Nice team that they've built out here as well. So really stoked about these guys. And that is MessageMedia. All right. And with that, Tyler, I guess we should get on to our tip of the week. Greg's code share. So configuring Chat GPT bot in Zoho Cliq. This is not about air handling. This is the whole thing. So you want to get the Chat GPT bot configured. Here it is. And of course, it's going to have the air handling code and everything in it as well. So this is Greg in his own inimitable way, making you laugh and cry while teaching you how to code at the same time. So always enjoyable. He would, Greg, I think you missed your calling. You would have been like the absolute perfect high school history teacher or something, you would have been one of those teachers you just could not wait to go to his class, because gosh knows what's going to happen there. All right, so check that out. That is over at our YouTube channel. And as always, if you head over to youtube.com/Zenatta, that is where we keep all of our videos. And we are out of control with the amount of videos we are producing now. And so please head on over. They are all there for your enjoyment and education. Someone was asking me the other day, they said, kind of have a hard time sorting things out and finding the right videos. I'll give everybody a quick tip there. If you actually go over to Zenatta.com and click on our resource library, we list all of the applications here. So if you then click into that application, basically anytime we do a video and we post it on YouTube, we come back over to the website here and we kind of break it down. So, if you're watching the video under CRM, we have all our getting started, all our how-to basics, all our how-to advanced, email. Kind of hard to sort these things out this way and break them down on the YouTube channel. So we do it over here. This is going to take you back to the YouTube channel where you can watch them embedded here. But all of our videos are here, so worth taking a look at. And while I'm at it, if you're trying to get your team trained on CRM, we've launched our CRM team training. This is a 7-day course. It's one price for your entire team. You got 5 people, 100 people. It's the same price. And I think it's $999.99, maybe $1,000 even. I don't know. Sorry about that extra penny. But you get to train your entire team. And it is both end user training, it's admin training, is fantastic. So if you want to train people and you hire new people, you just send them through the course.
Put them on in. Yep, exactly. Lifetime access.
Once you buy it, it's yours, and you just go right ahead with that. All right, everybody. With that, let's get into our Q&A. Tyler, this is the segment of the show that is going to be going away. Everybody, where's it going away? It's going away in the next few weeks. This is going to be its own separate show. And so where we will have all these, all the questions that we're going to answer basically from YouTube, Club Z, live stream questions. It's going to be its own separate show. And we'll have an announcement about that coming up shortly. But now let's talk about a YouTube question on IT Help Desk. Is there a survey per technician? Well, sure.
Yeah, you surely could. You could create a different survey for each tech if you wanted feedback on them, or you could create one and deliver it with kind of a hidden field of like your tech ID or the email of the tech. So you would just have one survey. But either way, yeah, you could have more than one in there, one per tech. That'd be no problem.
And from YouTube, after watching How to Set Up Website Widgets with Zoho Subscriptions 2021, Adam Gill asked, very easy to follow, thanks. I hit a problem with the script for widgets based on a single plan, and embedding more than one plan on a page is notoriously difficult. Basically, if you try to embed more than one widget, the code executes multiple times, and the result is that it only displays the last item executed. Is there a workaround for this?
Not particularly. You need to work around it on like the web side of the house. So you could either have different pages and have one plan per page, kind of have like a master where there's a click through and then you use the embedded widgets, or you could kind of not use the embedded widgets and create your own on the website and then just have the click through there, drop them into a hosted payment page for that subscription. I'd probably go with option 2 because you could just control the UI a lot more.
Alrighty, and then Linnell, after watching Zoho Forms full product overview, said, can a form after an approval be directed to another form? I know you were looking this up, Tyler. Can it?
Yeah, I don't believe so, unfortunately. Not in Zoho Forms.
Alrighty. Sorry, Linnell. All right, and then Lay, after watching the CRM Zen episode last week, I believe, episode 240, Zoho CRM uses freeform field to handle the state field, which can result in users entering bad data. What are your best practices up until now for handling this field, and do you now see a better alternative? Anyway, on and on and on. Basically, you just need to create a pick list.
Yeah,
And
you're on
check
the
that
right
out.
way. The issues is that the third party integrations for other applications are going to reference that. Some of them you can change, right? So like books and desk, you could probably just change the integration mapping. I do think that Sales IQ is pre-baked. I don't know that you could change it to write to a different field, but we have set up systems where like upon a state being entered, it references like a database via API and then just replaces it with the two characters.
I mean, that's kind of the way we've done it, right? We read it and rewrite it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and then Adam back again after watching Zoho subscriptions. Is it possible to create some sort of shared hosted payment page for add-ons where someone already has a subscription and wants to now include add-ons? You have to go through to the portal. So you can
Yeah.
actually reveal a subscription portal to your clients. They log into that portal and they can handle that all there. So not really a page. They do have to log in. They do have to have an account. You know who they
Yeah.
are, but you can handle it that way. All right. And Ravi Karan asks, after watching Zoho Products Full Product Tutorial 2022, can we import all project data from previous software to Zoho, like Teamwork to Zoho?
Yes, depending on how the data looks, you might need to pull it out of Teamwork, clean it up a bit so it matches the Zoho format, and then import it. I will say when you're importing the projects, it's a bit arduous because you have to create all your projects and then do one import per project to add the tasks. So not something you kind of knock out with one big file, but it is definitely possible.
Yeah. Robbie, you like your question marks, man. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Very good. So moving on. Eric is asking, hey, thanks for the video. This is after watching Zoho Analytics dashboard publishing and shared settings. I'm trying to publish dashboards with a permalink with password access, and it's telling me to contact my account admin. Is this a premium feature? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
you do need to be on the premium account.
Yeah, we'll have to be on the premium plan for that. Jeff Spitzer, great overview. Thank you. Do any of these products allow you to build sales funnels similar to what we've done in ClickFunnels? This is after he watched Zoho One full product overview. He's looking at the 60 products and he goes, out of all these products, is there anything similar to ClickFunnels? Not really. I mean, I guess kind of
A lot of
sales
the
site.
back end, like this, the CRM stuff can, but the main thing ClickFunnels does is like conversion optimization on the website, and like Zoho PageSense kind of does that, not as well as ClickFunnels. So yeah, you could replace a lot of the back end stuff, like what happens once they fill out a form. We want to send this email, this task, this call. But in terms of like the conversion optimization, not quite so much.
Yeah. ClickFunnels is a great application too. So it's kind of hard. Oftentimes people, I feel like they come to us and they're like, oh, I want to replace this app. And it's a company who does one thing and they've been doing it for decades and they perfected it and it's great, right? And it's like, why? Because, sometimes you just really stay with what works there. All right, over at Club Z, Beat Z is asking, how can I get a dashboard showing all open tasks of a user? I can show CRM tasks in the CRM dashboard, but using Desk, we have to add tasks triggered by a ticket to Zoho project in order to at least see them in a unified view in Zoho One. Is there a way to see all open tasks from CRM, mail, desk projects in a dashboard, also containing things like open deals, turnover, etc.? Would you pull it all up into analytics and push it down somehow, Tyler?
Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
pull it all into analytics and then use a lot of SQL to kind of join all of this data against like usernames or user emails that are consistent between the applications, but nothing native, unfortunately. It's a reasonably big project.
And Everett, after watching Ask Click to People timesheets. So last week we had a story around how basically if someone is clocking in and clocking out inside of People, that data would be written to Click. So you would just have an easy access. So and so checked in, so and so checked out. Everett is asking, he wanted our thoughts on integrating Click to People in order to be able to input timesheet data in Click that pushes over to People. Um, and I think we checked, and it doesn't appear
Yeah.
you can't reverse that right now. You can't go from
Yeah,
Click
it'll show like
and
the
write data to People.
availability, but it's not going to write any timesheet data between the apps.
Ready? And then Mark, How do I set up a trigger in Zoho CRM that is activated when a delivery is made in ShipStation? Unfortunately, neither Zapier nor Zoho Flow provide a trigger on delivery, and ShipStation only sends a delivery
And it's a third-party integration project, Mark. I mean, like, you'll need to start this process somewhere inside of Zoho CRM and write an API that goes to ShipStation and pulls back some type of identifier that we can use to listen for future updates against that order. And then on the ShipStation side, you might just need to create something custom on ShipStation that posts a webhook when things are delivered. And at that point, you can write it back to CRM. But it's just a custom integration project that you're kind of looking at there.
All righty. Well, that's it, brother. Another show is in the bag. Here we are halfway through March. The year is slowly slipping away. Christmas is around the corner. Time to get your shopping done. Everybody start planning. Anyway, everyone, have a great week. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, if you want to talk to Tyler or myself about how we can help you, you can head over to zenatta.com and click on Book a Meeting.
And on the website is where you'll find complete show, as well as links to all the stories we discussed today. We'd love if you would subscribe to our newsletter to get that news delivered every single week, and subscribe to us here on YouTube, as well as your choice of podcast app. We'll see you next Friday.
Cheers, everybody. Have a great weekend. Ooh, I like the new Podcaster Zen animation there. This is a Podcaster Zen production. Very nice. Have a great weekend, everyone.